Welcome to Light Bearers, a place where transformation happens through the power of the Word of God and His love. At Light Bearers, we are passionate about the life-changing power of God. We believe that it has the power to transform lives, to bring hope and healing, to reveal the truth that sets us free. As it says in the book of Psalms, the entrance of your words gives light. It gives understanding to the simple. Join us as we experience God's glory and become changed into His likeness.
Now, many a times we are not aware of the cost implication of the things that we desire. Every kind and every quality of life that you desire, there's a cost implication. That's what we call discipline. Discipline connects your desires and your productivity. It connects your goals to your physical experience. That's how you convert your goals to things that you can handle and touch. Now, my name is John David, and I welcome you to our podcast on purpose discovery. And today's teaching will be talking about mastery. Permit me to read the scripture to you, the writings of Paul, the apostle, from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, starting from verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Now, this is a profound, this is an amazing writing from Paul, speaking about mastery. And the first thing he said was, and every man that striveth for the mastery, and every man, any man who has decided to strive for mastery, one of the first things that must happen is that he must be temperate in all things. Now, the reason why he said that was because there's something to obtain. Now, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. So when it comes to the subject of mastery, you must understand that according to the writings of Paul, mastery does not start with you mastering things, but mastering yourself. Self-mastery. It means there's a certain level of self-control and self-government or self-leadership that you must achieve to master the things around you. Now, to help our understanding, to build up from our previous teaching on purpose discovery, now I advise you to listen to that teaching before you listen to this so that your understanding will be perfect. Just a brief explanation on questions I get a lot. People usually ask the difference between their purpose and their career. So I'll just try to see how I can bring understanding to help you to understand the difference. Now, purpose and gifts, I'll try to bring an understanding to that. There's a difference between your purpose and your gift. Your purpose is a reason for your existence. Now, I've established that in a previous teaching on purpose discovery. Your gifts are your God-given tools or abilities to actualize your purpose. Now, you have to understand this. While your purpose is the reason for your existence, your gifts are tools, abilities given to you to actualize your purpose. Now, let's say for instance, Now, previous teaching, we established the fact that God's universal plan was broken into two, right? According to that teaching, that the first universal plan that God has is for men to be saved. And the second universal plan that God has is for men to be transformed into His image and into His likeness. And we established the fact that every believer has that purpose, but your unique purpose can be gotten from that universal purpose. Let's say, for instance, God is calling you to be a singer, for example, right? And that's your unique purpose, right? Then the tools He gave to you is the ability to sing. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, this is the reason why your purpose is different from your gifts. You have to know that. Your gifts are your inherent abilities given to you by God to actualize your purpose. When God gives you a purpose, He gives you a gift to solve problems and by extension actualize your divine purpose. Now let's talk about refining your gifts, because this is where mastery comes in. Mastery is a state whereby you've highly developed your gift. It's a description of years of consistency, years of focus, years of doing the work, years of discipline. When you truly refine your gift, you must understand this, that your gift will always come in seed form. What that means is that it will not be mature enough for you to deploy and to expect rewards. The Bible said the gift of a man maketh room for him, right? You must develop your gifts enough, gain mastery over your gift, your skill, your career, for that skill or that career to make room for you. You understand this, that your gift becomes your weapon or your platform to actualize your purpose, right? It's like the bait, right? If I can put it that way, the bait for you to actualize your purpose, or the platform. Let's use the word platform, it will help you understand it. The platform you stand on to actualize your purpose. Let's say, for instance, you're a doctor, right? That becomes your platform to actualize your purpose. Let's say you are an electrical engineer. That becomes your platform, right? So your career, if properly understood, is like a means to an end, right? It's not just an end, it's a means to an end. A platform given to you by God, of course, to solve problems, to bless lives, but primarily it's a platform given to you by God to get men saved and get men transformed. And you must understand this. If you see God's hand in your career and in terms of developing your gifts and your abilities and your skill. Now, let's take Daniel, for example. While he was in Babylon, the Bible told us that God gave him knowledge and God gave him skill. Now, you want to read the book of Daniel to inspire you a lot. But if you look at Daniel carefully, you discover that those gifts and those skills given to him by God was never his focus. The Bible said the spirit of excellence was upon him, right? And he was preferred above the president and the satraps and all. But his focus was not just the excellency that he could produce, but his focus was revealing God. How do we know that? Do you know he was standing for the cause of God's kingdom to the point where he was thrown into the lion's den? And even his friends, right? Remember the whole idea or the whole experience of the fourth man. So they understood their assignment. They knew why they were in Babylon. So when it comes to your giftings and your abilities, you must have this proper understanding that your giftings are your platforms, the platforms God has given to you to attract people, to solve problems, and to express and manifest your purpose. So mastery is a state, right? It's a description of a kind of person. It's a state where you've highly developed your gift, and your God-given gifts come in seed form, in a crude state. You need to refine them before you can deploy them. Two things. You need to refine them before you can deploy them. Now, there are two expressions when it comes to refining your gift. I truly want you to pay attention. Very important. Number one, in terms of refining or gaining mastery over your gift, that process starts with you, right? Becoming valuable. Now, the word becoming should be your focus, not just value, right? It is said that the value that a man has or a thing has is in the capacity of that man or that thing to solve problems. Simple. Your value is your capacity to solve problems. Simple, right? And we all know that resources, rewards, favor, all these things gravitate towards extreme value. And this is true. Now, you may be saying that you are valuable to, you're a valuable child to your parents, you're valuable to the people around you, and that's good. But you must understand the context in which I'm speaking from, right? I'm talking about value in the marketplace, because you can be a valuable son to your parent, but you may not be valuable to the marketplace. You have to understand this. And these two expressions you must capture. The first expression is that you must become valuable. Do not assume that you are valuable. You can measure your value in terms of your value to the marketplace, right? Because that's the language the marketplace understands. The reason I'm talking about the marketplace is because the marketplace is where your rewards are, right? Your parents may not give you the rewards that you desire. Your friends may not give you the rewards that you desire. But if you must be valuable and create a place for yourself in the marketplace, in the place of exchange, that's just the marketplace, in a place where we exchange value for rewards, right? We exchange skills for rewards. That's just the marketplace. And if you will have a space in that marketplace, then you must gain mastery over your gifts. I can't overemphasize this. And the first way to do that is to become valuable. Becoming valuable. It's a process. A process you must be willing to go through, right? There's this concept I learned some years back, powerful concept. I was reading a book some years back and it really shifted my mind, right? Delayed gratification. That it really changed my mind. Delayed gratification. Now, the whole idea of that concept is the capacity for you to weigh your options and for you to major on the major and the minor on the minor, if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? For you to delay the pleasure that you can, right, realize at this point for something greater, for a greater cause, meaning your capacity to go through strenuous activities to bring out the best in yourself. Now, many of us have not been taught or exposed to the cost implication when it comes to discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to gain mastery over your craft, over your gifts, right? Let's say, for instance, you're into programming and you are learning how to program, maybe using Python as an example, and you spend, let's say, 30 minutes every day learning how to program. Now, if you put 30 minutes, if you combine 30 minutes in 1 week, imagine the time that you've put into that work, imagine it for 1 month, imagine it for 3 months, and imagine it for a year if you can be consistent, right? That's the level of discipline. Discipline is the capacity for you to sacrifice. You truly understand discipline if you truly can sacrifice. Now, this is a whole teaching on its own. It's coming in one of our series, right? The discipline of becoming. You understand in that teaching that it takes discipline to become. No, there is no hope for a lazy man. There's no hope for a lazy person. There's no one who has gained mastery who is not temperate in all things, who has not put his body under subjection. Meaning your capacity, your desire to grow and to become must be greater than the way you feel. You must desire your future greater than your present pleasure. And that's what delayed gratification is, for you to really get transformed. And it's a process. You must become valuable. You must begin to work on yourself, not just on things. That's the first place you begin to refine yourself. You must begin to work on yourself. How do you work on yourself? You begin to work on the characters that you need. You begin to work on the perspectives that you need. You begin to work on your response to life. You begin to be proactive, not just reactive. You begin to learn the principles that will transit you from where you are to where you need to be. These things are important. Now, I know you desire a good life, but I'm trying to tell you in this teaching that there's a cost implication for every single desire that you have. The bridge that connects your desire to your manifestation is the word discipline. You have to know this. The second level of refining your gift is bringing value. Remember, the first level is becoming valuable. The second level is bringing value. Let's say, for instance, it's one thing for you to know, it's one thing for you to understand a business. Let's say you sell cars, you're a car dealer. It's one thing for you to love cars, to be passionate about cars, to know everything about the engine of a car, the tires and all that. That you becoming valuable, meaning you have interest in that field. The next phase is for you to bring value. You need the both. You need to become valuable. You need to bring value. What's the difference? Anyone can bring value to the marketplace. Let's say, for instance, you can wake up, right? You can wake up one morning and say, hey, I want to go into selling of bags, right? School bags for kids. And you can just go, even without knowing so much, you can just go and buy bags and start reselling. Now, that's bringing value. You will discover that most people who operate in this second phase will not be so rigid, strong in the face of challenges like those who became valuable. Do you understand that? Like, you see the clear-cut difference between the both. Now, what I'm trying to say in gaining mastery is this. Be disciplined. Be disciplined. You have to train yourself to be disciplined. Learn how to major on the major things and minor on the minor things. The mistake is that we major on the minor and we minor